Welcome everyone, Paul from Paul's Blind Soup for the Soul. This is part 2 of my father, a Polish American hero. When I ran out of memory and had to post the first video, I was talking about when he was a POW and he was in prison and he was hungry. They only gave him water and a piece of bread at night and a cup of coffee black in the morning. And he would try to save the piece of bread for coffee. But he was so hungry that he was dreaming about it and he had to eat it and then drink bitter coffee. So he knows what it's like to be starving. And he wishes not that on his worst enemy. But to continue on, they took some of the POWs and lined them up in a line, and there was a general there. This is SS. These were like the mean Germans, really bad. They were looking for interpreters. They needed an interpreter for Polish to German and German to Polish. And they had a piece of paper and they said, if anybody wants to help us interpret, you will have better quarters and better clothes and stuff like that. So my father stepped forward and read that document perfectly. And he ended up being selected, and he got better, food and clothes and stuff like that. And he was an interpreter for them between generals. He even broke bread at the table with them, and he knew German so well with his slang. He was telling jokes and making them laugh and all kinds of things. And believe it or not, when everything was said and done and he had to, they didn't need him anymore. One of the soldiers took him to the side and said, Roman, you're a good kid. I think he was at 17 or 18 at that time. Maybe 19. He started in the war at 18. The soldier said to him, "You're too good of a kid. I'm going to make it look like I'm going to execute you. And I'm going to take you outside, and everyone's going to look like you got executed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some clothes, and they're more like for German though, and told him that our people won't mess with you, but you be careful with your people because of what you're wearing." So he ended up giving him some rations and a liter of water, and told him, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to count to 10. And when I count to 10, you better be gone, otherwise I'm going to shoot you dead. And with that, the soldier ended up counting to 10, and my dad was gone. And then within 3 days of traveling through territory, I believe it was it might have been the front line in northern Italy, but he ended up finding his platoon after 3 days, and ended up escaping. An SS soldier helped him escape. And I asked my dad, and he says, they're just misinformed people. They were promised a lot of things, and, they did terrible things. They were like brainwashed. But for some reason, this guy helped them escape. It's an incredible story. Finally, I would just like to add that also my father is a survivor of the Battle of Monte Cassino. That Monte Cassino was on top of a hill near northern Italy that the Germans would use to get to southern Italy. They had to travel through this one way, and the Monte Cassino was there. And they took over the Monte Cassino for a base headquarters. And the U.S. tried. They lost a lot of lives. They failed. There were others that tried. But if you look up the Battle of Monte Cassino, the Poles took it. 3,000 Poles died in that battle. But they took it. And my dad said the reason why we were successful is when they came to Poland and Warsaw and destroyed their city, they were out for revenge. And come hell or high water, they were going to take that Monte Cassino. And that pretty much ended the war of World War II. I mean, people talk about D-Day. That's a big, important day. But at the same time, the Battle of Monte Cassino happened. And, the media obviously talked more about D-Day than the Monte Cassino. But that was a huge, once they took that, the Germans, could not pass through to, take Italy and stuff. So, that ended the war. So that's my story of my father, Roman Chorostecki, born May 3rd, 1924, and passed away under just old age, October 11th, 2016. I'm making this part 2 for Patriot in the Dark. He's having a challenge of American heroes. So my father, I consider, and I asked him, he says yes, he would qualify for the giveaway challenge. American Hero Challenge. My father became an American citizen after the World War II. He went to England first. England offered them a home. That's where he met my mom, and then he wanted to come to the United States and be successful in the United States. And he got a sponsorship, and with his credentials for being an ally, he became an American citizen. And he died as an American citizen, and he was also a member of the American VA, Veterans Association. So with that, I will bid you adieu, and rest in peace, Dad. I love you. You guys take care. This is Paul. Bye-bye.